have your grudge match basically between Natalia and Ruby Riott, which is it was a tables match. Each of them had a table with a what do you call it, a fat head on them. So one of them had Jim the Anvil Neidhart on it. The other one had Ruby Riott on it. And Natalia wins this match, which was really the only way that they could have gone with this. She put Ruby through the Ruby table. Next is Finn Balor, and this was just a regular old match. Something that they could have done on Raw. It was a good match, but it was just normal.
It wasn't even Demon.
Finn Balor wasn't Demon. But then again, he had just made an appearance at the Braun match, so when you saw him out there and he wasn't Demon, I was like, well, he does manage. He does manage to go over Drew, which was a surprise because I really, really thought Drew was going to go over. Would have, in most cases, made the most sense here, but yeah. Following that, you had a chairs match between Rey Mysterio and Rick. Rey Mysterio wins this match. Can't for the life of me remember exactly how. Just nothing we haven't seen before. You know, Rey's a good worker. Given the right opponent, Randy can be a good worker.
Damn, I miss everything.
These two guys worked well together, so it was just a chairs match. It was probably, you didn't miss a whole lot.
Well, that was also my opinion of the pay-per-view in general. Nothing you've covered so far was anything that was worth writing home about. I mean, I hated the women's storyline, and as fun as it was watching Corbin get beaten up, it was just, storyline fodder.
I mean, the tag team match was good. We talked about that. The only plus that I took out of the Mixed Match Challenge finals was how Carmella floated into a submission hold.
Oh, my big plus out of that was that Truth is friggin' hysterical.
Well, Truth is always hysterical, but...
Yeah. It's windy, yo. It knocked out my power. My power came back on seconds. My computer booted up seconds after, but my internet, on the other hand, took 10 minutes to come back.
Yeah, that's what happened here on Thursday. We lost power for like a brief second while I was working, and I was like, God damn it.
It's stormy. But back to TLC here. Nia Jax. To her credit, better performance than expected. However, not a great match. No,
but the right person went over.
Well, obviously. But we all know what that is. That's all set up, and apparently they are now officially done with Nia Jax and giving her any semblance of push. So hope she enjoyed it while it lasted, because I think they pretty much just did that to capitalize, and now they're like, nope, we've got money elsewhere. Sorry, Nia. Maybe next time don't hurt people.
We've got a potential WrestleMania main event over here.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, so the three top matches were all the matches I came here to see. Two of them were excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. One of them was very disappointing. I want to discuss the disappointing match first, which was the penultimate match, which was Ambrose and Rollins. Mostly why it was disappointing. Something about this match just seemed off to me. And it's not like these guys' hearts weren't in it, but the match was just really clunky. Something just wasn't clicking, and you could tell. Like, both guys were just having off nights.
Yeah.
We know Ambrose and Rollins are excellent performers because we've seen it happen before. So I honestly don't know why this was so freaking just so don't even know. I really don't even have a follow-up as to why this was so crappy, but it was, and it was pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
got me on that one. But AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan was so good.
Yes.
Excellent title match, top to bottom. And I highly, highly recommend, if you didn't watch the pay-per-view, to go back and watch this one.
That would be one actually worth watching.
And absolutely watch the triple threat main event with the women.
Yes, without a doubt.
Oh my god. One of the best women's matches of the year, easily. I don't know if it's
with that.
the best women's match of the year, but
Well,
it's certainly
our listeners can decide if it was the best women's match of the year or not.
They sure can.
Because it is on the list.
It's on the list.
Sure. The list. On the list.
Our current listeners have all voted already, so...
Yes.
Nice.
So to Matt Hardman and Mike Underwood, shout out and thank you. Shout out and thank you. So the basic finish of the match was as brilliant as it could be, because it accomplished three very important things. It got Asuka the title reign she so desperately needed since her... It got the belt off of Becky in a smart way that pushes her forward and makes her lose no momentum. And it set up two huge marquee future matches. The Ronda Rousey-Charlotte rematch, and then the Ronda-Becky encounter.
And also probably an eventual horsewoman match.
Yes. Especially because Duke and Shafir made their debuts. It was losing fashion, but they made their debuts.
That is true.
Oh, by the way, go watch, real quick plug, go watch Gargano and Black in the Cage.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Yeah, because there's really the possibility of a heel DI.
They're both heel, so yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go watch that. Just go watch all the things.
NXT is worth watching. If you're not watching NXT and you're watching Raw and SmackDown, you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Man.
It's really like, if you're gonna complain about Raw and SmackDown constantly, and that's all you're watching, and you're skipping out on NXT and 205 Live, then you're really doing it backwards.
Oh, and by the way, for those of you who are checking out the chat right now and hanging out with us on Twitch, I did mention that Matt Hardman would be changing the name of his podcast. Well, his username will give you a spoiler as to what that name will be. I'm not going to say it out loud, but you could absolutely figure that out. Let's really quick just cover basically Ronda Rousey shoved Becky and Charlotte off the ladder, which is how Asuka got the win. That was her way of screwing them both over after all the crap they've been talking. I thought it was brilliant. I think it's a great way to set up the future matches, and I'm willing to bet that Ronda loses whatever her next title defense is. She's got one against Natty coming up. Probably not that one. But, like, the next big match defense that she has, she's going to lose it because Charlotte and Becky are going to cost her.
It's possible.
Charlotte or Becky, or both.
Or both, because right now...
And Bayley and Sasha.
The WrestleMania 30, it is going to be a women's match. It is going to include Charlotte. And it's just a matter of is it going to be Charlotte versus Becky versus Rousey?
Yeah, I'm still on the Charlotte overrated, overutilized bandwagon, but
I am too. But they specifically said she's already been told she's so I was like, well, fuck.
Well, shit, I sure hope she hasn't heard anything in that time frame. Because they told Roman he was main eventing for how many years in a row, and look what happened there.
That is true.
Whatever it took to break Hogan's record for most main events in a row.
Yeah, seriously.
Which was 6, right?
Yes. Was it?
Well,
He did 5? because he didn't main event 4.
But he was part of the main event of 4.
5, 6, 7, 8, and then technically 9.
Yeah, because he got called in.
So it was a 5 streak. But I think I don't think it was a streak necessarily. I think they just wanted him to have the record of most main events. So he'd have to pass Hogan and Triple H for that. But still. Speaking of NXT and stuff happening, we got promo videos for 6 call-ups. Well, 6 people. Technically 5 call-ups. And this will cause some future spoilies, I'm sure, too, because Heavy Machinery has a title shot against Undisputed Era, and they're getting called up. And Lacey Evans is part of the Fatal 4-Way for a number 1 contender match for the women's title.
Womp womp.
And she's getting called up. But they're smart call-ups because they don't really have much more for Heavy Machinery. And I didn't realize this. Heavy Machinery's been on a win streak for 6 months, and I had no idea.
That's because they never work the big events. So you just
so they just go over people.
Yeah, I think the last match they lost, I think they lost a fluke match against the Street Profits.
And I know I've seen the comments already. People are like, well, how come they're getting called up? What about Ciampa and Gargano and Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream? Look, you can't just bring up all of your big NXT stars at once, or the brand has nothing. You got to build some new guys and then get them up there. And then when people are like, well, why are these people getting fast-tracked? Well, let's be realistic here. NXT is pretty crowded, too. People got to go somewhere. And they really haven't done that much with EC3 since he came back.
Well, why do you think the Street Profits are down?
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, too, yeah. Do stuff with people.
I'm not a huge fan of Heavy Machinery. I like how... I am on that Otis Dozovic side. I really like that guy. He's fun to watch. I'm not a huge Tucker Knight fan. But we'll see what they do when they bring him up. I mean, there's not exactly a good track record.
Well, Dozovic is the guy that they're watching, supposedly.
That guy's fun.
So Tucker Knight is sort of being the Marty Jannetty guy right now.
He reminds me of a guy that fit in with like Henson and Rowe. He's a big guy that is very...
He probably likes to eat.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's a big guy. He likes to eat.
Steaks and weights, baby.
Steaks and weights. Yes, sir, Mr. Underwood. Steaks and weights. So we got those call-ups coming. Nikki Cross, long overdue.
Way overdue.
And I would like to see them put her back with Sanity, just because that'll get Sanity some more TV time, even though I can't stand Kevin Dunn's awful camera cuts during Sanity's entrance.
Yeah, I want Sanity back on TV.
I mean, they just did, who are they just involved in? They're involved in that 4-way match, right?
Yes.
That was the last time we kind of saw them. And then they interfered with something recently. So they're making their mark, but we should see more of them. And of course, Lars Sullivan has just been touted forever, so that's not even news.
I suspect we'll see him either this week or next.
Lars Sullivan breaks Braun Strowman's Rumble record.
He'll pop up on either. I don't know which.
Yeah. Well, Strowman's got the record now because of Greatest Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And he might not be back in the ring until the Royal Rumble, so we'll have to see.
You're talking about he was in the ring at TLC.
Well, right. And then they're basically again until Rumble. Because his arm is still a special shade of purple.
So one thing I did like was the return of the McMahons. I like the dynamic there. I know some people have an issue with the whole